Welcome, sparkling ones. I am your fairytale queen, with a crown and receipts. And I'm here to bring some gold to a drabby grey situation here in the UK. So are you seated comfortably? Pink clouds or blue clouds are optional, but we won't get into that debate, although bubbles are not included, sadly. Right, let's get to it. Crowns on, wands out. We've got fog to clear, and it's not the nice kind that makes the morning fields look magical. Oh, no. I'm talking about that damp, drafty fog that leaks out of Westminster's committee rooms, the sort that smells faintly of leather benches, cold tea, and 20 years or more of the same speeches recycled with a different tie. Those boggy, blabbering big egos in power who think that the sun shines out of their opinions and their to-do list. A to-do list of tick boxes that immediately are shredded. And then they put their fingers in their ears and they say, I didn't do it, no, I didn't lose it, I didn't do it, don't know where it's gone. Naughty. Not a single gold star for them so far. And wooden two-tier Kia. No gold star here for you either. No, not when we've had to fence our little darlings in to keep our little chicks' play areas nice and safe in little tiny prisons. Poof! Off to the naughty step you go, Keir Starmer. Off the cliff edge of your career, a career that you seem to think was so important that you wanted to get into a position where you had a national anthem following you behind. Whoosh! There goes Mummy's apron strings because you didn't do very well. Snippity snip, snip, snip. Twinkle snap. That's your silence, Keir, floating off to never you do that again. You see, some of these very serious people in the wand-wielding area of Westminster, they're just little girls and boys like you and I, but they're playing big boss. And they keep on grabbing all of the crayons, and they think that the green benches are their fairy throne. And they're waving their papers around like magic wands, or like they're going to be sent by owls and growlers that are going to have a go at us and we'll be scared, while the speaker plays head teacher in the world's longest school debate. Little boys in tight trousers, and little girls sucking on sassy lemons with very big opinions about how patient you should be, while they let their very important lives lead the way and the order of things. And then there's Mummy. We spoke about Mummy earlier. Well, Mummy, she's calling them all the time and pushing them like she's the Queen of Narnia. And she's doing it because she's an iced trophy lady because her husband was so successful, or she's climbed the ladder and fallen off the edge herself, and she whispers aggressive prophecies into the ears of her little lamb, saying, the country's not good enough for you, my little prince. Aim for the EU, as she tightens up his collar, and stirring the gravy and rearranging the gilt shelf. Well, they grow up to become one men, one women pyramid schemes with them at the top. Built on borrowed power at the top. Mummy's pedestal, institutional flattery, the very important job, and emotional vampirism off of you and me, all of us. We were never in that triangle. No, we were under it, not on the top of it, but under it. And now we're getting out. We're casting it off, and it's an exodus where we're getting out of it with our crown on, our wand in hand, and our eyes wide open. And let's not forget, oh, do not forget, ever forget, the bosses and the meddling little munchkins down the pipeline from Westminster, through the broom-cupboard corridors of Whitehall, and into the Azkaban of the civil service. Never forget those little munchkins micromanaging from behind their ring lights, handing out jargon spells like potions. ULEZ this, and Clean Air Zone that, and new rules over there, all whilst you and I sit muted, pixelated, and slowly losing our will to live. Honestly, if I had a sparkle for every mortal that enforced a travel enforcement, I would have retired onto my own cloud by now. And all us little girls and boys, you ask? All of us little girls and boys. You want to know about us and you, what happens to the magic and the colour of us from childhood onwards enjoying our lives, while we smile sweetly. We curl up on the cold floor like cinders, and we give our beds to any stranger that comes along without apology. And we also apologise ourselves for being too sensitive about it. We keep sitting up straight and sparkle just enough with our best Mary Poppins and Mr. Bank accents to be pleasing, but never too much. Never too much that the ugly sisters of other countries in the EU and all those that have pressing down their policies, we can't outshine them for anywhere else in the world or any other realm. Forbid. No, we must be restrained. We have always been trained to be pressed, pleasant and pretty, and to be patient. That's us in the UK and Britain. Good old Blighty. Be patient and wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. But one day, poof, a leg fell off. Poof! Death started to grumble that he was overworked and he was understaffed due to the NHS neglect. Poof! Everything started to get very real because of the gold dust that we were starting to find was our own and we were starting to see with clarity. Well, we picked up our wands and we saw through the curtain and we realised the wizard, he was just a tiny little guy with a projector and some friends in the mainstream media that had very serious unresolved issues and bad hard drives. Well, it was like a never-ending pantomime where you've got the wizard, who is not really real, the witches who never got their own storylines and got a bit bitter about it on the television, and then there was the glittering girl full of hope, and the boy with a wooden sword and a St. George flag. They were waiting to get out of the never would have believed it land. Whilst the Houses of Parliament, they finished, well, we thought they were going to finish, but they went on with their very loud monologues written by dementors, it seemed, because it seemed to attract more of them. And we waited. And we waited. And Death sent out a flurry of memos threatening to resign as we were all waiting. Stagnated, nothing moving, waiting. Everything was starting to bottleneck. But guess what? What happened in the end? I'll tell you what happened in the end. The girl got her wand, the boy got a real sword and a flag and also a horse. The girl did find her sparkle and the boy got his dragon back. And so did the girl. We all rode our dragons and found our power. And that girl and that boy is me. Well, kind of. That's a whole different thing that we won't speak about. No, that girl and that boy, it was you. Me, all of us. And let's be clear. You are not a slave to incompetence. You are not the quiet one that should be fearing that their vocals would make the wrong sound or have the wrong thought in your head, God forbid. No, in fear that giants would be sent like a SWAT team, that they would hoist you off like ogres into Starmer's slammer, ripping your wand out of your hand. No, No more standing under a moth-bitten umbrella in all Blighty with the crystal tears of rain dripping down, but you can't make a whimper. With a fading soundtrack in the back, far, far away. Land of hope and glory. No, not in the background. You are not God's little angel made with accessories just to turn a donkey wheel. Mary and the little baby Jesus and the donkey. He carried it all. He wasn't going round for power plays. And no more in a castle of moving walls made out of policies where the portcullis is a revolving door for the lobbyists and the moat. The moat is just full of expensive receipts. Because you are not a pixie in somebody else's dream sequence. No, you are the spell breaker, the story turner, the story tuner. You are the waft, wand-wielding, glittery-tongued truth dropper. You are the show, the sparkle, the main character, and the hero of your journey. A wafty wand spell maker. And you don't need a pompous power-posturing politician for approval. Not at all. Oh no. All we need, all you need, is a bubble with steering and a good snack. So, wand up, fog out, crown on straight, get that wand wafting, and if they try to scoff or monologue again, and the fog starts to seep from their breath and gets dull and dreary and grey and boring again, just smile sweetly, tilt your head like a suspicious woodland creature, and say, "Off you bubble." Now, crown straight, wand up. They don't run the show. They don't run the show anymore. I do, and you do.